outside Coles on a Saturday night. All up, boys, are looking right.
Well, over the weekend we lost a great friend in Bob Cooke. Now, to me, as a 15 or 16-year-old doing an apprentice at Billiards and Kings, putting bikes together, it was the staple of my mornings listening to Cooke Moore. And he was probably one of the cornerstones of 7HO. I would also have to say that you guys were one of the architects of comedic breakfast radio in Australia, for that matter. It was a total change.
Yes.
So, Richard Moore, welcome to our show, mate, for a celebration of Cookie's life.
I think Baz and Pilco would
No
probably
way,
take that one in
couldn't
Adelaide.
hold a brush to his mate.
The thing about Bob and my relationship was it was the same on air as and off air as well.
Yep.
We were great mates.
Yep.
Ever since the day that we met back in October of 1971, when I first came down there as a wide-eyed 18-year-old boy.
Yep.
And got a job as an announcer at HO, which is the station that I listen to as well. It's sort of like, I think I've used this analogy before. It's like barracking for a football team and then getting to play for them.
No. Hey, when I walked into this building and I met you for the first time, I had a bit of anxiety because to me, you were one of my childhood heroes. I loved radio. I was born up with it with Mum, and to see you and then later to meet Cookie in person here at 7HO, you know, you do idolise your childhood.
So from that day onwards, we then sort of started to do the bit of banter between our shifts. But obviously when I started, Bob was doing afternoons and we actually didn't have midnight to dawn then because the station used to close down at 1 o'clock. And I only got 3 shifts. Friday, Saturday and Sunday night.
Yep.
That was it. See you later, Maury. And then
same as what you're doing now, mate.
Well, there you go. See, it's come full circle. So I work weekends, and I used to work weekends before, isn't it? You know? No, but thank you to HO. Obviously, Bob's passing has affected a lot of people. Let me just say this. It wasn't unexpected because he endured a lot of bad illness in the last, especially in the last 6 months or so. So in that way, I'm glad that he's not suffering anymore. But obviously, we're going to miss him like crazy.
Yep.
He was a really good friend and a great broadcaster, but not just broadcasters, all those other bits and pieces.
Outside Coles on a Saturday night.
Celebrating the life of Bob Cooke.
Now, Maury, tell us about your first years working together. That was television with Cookie, wasn't it?
It was, but when we did the shifts together, I finally got the afternoon shift after the nights. We used to, have a bit of banter between when he was finishing up and I would start my shift, and that basically started that sort of, to and fro. But he went to Channel 6, TVT6, in March of 77, and in about November, he said, they're looking for someone over here, Maury. Why don't you apply for it? So that's when I went over to Channel 6 as well. And basically the then general manager, Don Carter, he said, what am I going to do with you two? He used to call us Heckle and Jekyll.
Yep.
He said, what am I going to do with you two? So they gave us a live breakfast show, TV show, which started from November right through until Christmas Eve. And that was interesting because it was live. But I think really it was like those sort of infomercial shows because I think they sold
were flogging a bit of stuff.
People would come in with lawnmowers and bikes, and we'd have the chemist come in and draw prizes out. But that was where we started, and that's where we started the banter and all that sort of stuff. Television is a very cruel mistress because it's not like radio where if you want to have a scene in New York, you just use a sound effect.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time. And I want to say thanks to Brent Costello for his thing. Now,
great.
that would have taken him a long time just to put... No, it would have done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he did
all day.
Did a bit to camera out at the old Channel 6 building. And so that's where the Cooke and Moore started. And the Saturday morning confusion and all of that sort of stuff. So.
Hello, who's this?
It's Glenn speaking, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, Glenn.
Good. I was just ringing up about the reminiscing of the Cooke and Moore thing. I was the little kid that used to run in on the start of the Saturday morning confusion show they did.
Oh. Was that you?
Yes.
And was that your sister?
A sister, yep.
Oh, big blow.
There you go. So you're a TV star as well, Glenn?
Yeah, we did a few ads. We did an Orchard orange juice ad and another couple of things. But, it wasn't a really good time to be at school. You got bagged fairly well for it.
Did you? And how's your TV career gone since then, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, downhill.
All downhill.
Good on you, mate.
And when did this characters start? So Mickey Finn was his big character with your Knocker Knowles.
Yeah, well, my Knocker Knowles actually started on television. This is a true story. Saturday Morning Confusion was about to wind up. We had a couple of minutes to think. We'd done everything on our running sheet. And he said, "Well, we've got 2 minutes to fill. What are we going to do?" So I said, "I'll just go run out to the makeup room." And I put this jacket on and drew a monobrow.
I tell you what, every time you do that, when you've done it here in the studio, you look like a different person. It's uncanny.
Then I put the monobrow on and stuck a what's-name on.
Yeah.
And I went out there and just said, "Okay, Cookie, how are you?" And he said, and this is what he was like. He was very quick. I said, "Oh, it's Knocker Knowles, the well-known footballer." That's
Just
right.
like that?
Yep, just like that. But I think Knocker Knowles might have been one of his father's mates because he used to draw a lot on his childhood.
Yeah. Yep.
So I do. "Yeah, Cookie, I want to go. That Mal Sutton's had it in for me. I got 3 weeks for, hitting an umpire and that, and it's unfair." And that's how it went. So Knocker Knowles was born there. Mickey Finn came later as Knocker's sponsor, the car salesman from Powhatan.
Yes.
Oh, new confidence, mate.
Shall we have a listen to a bit of Mickey
love
Finn?
to.
All right.
G'day boys, Knocker Knowles and Mickey Finn here from New Confidence Motors, and Mick's got another motoring tip for you.
Many thank yous, Knock. Of course, when you're buying a used car, I would suggest that you always turn the radio up full bore, because as you're driving along, those annoying squeaks, rattles, whines and moans could put you off buying a very good vehicle. Just another tip from New Confidence Motors. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Finn here, honest used car dealer from New Confidence Motors, Powhatan and Tarraleah, and honesty is a byword at New Confidence Motors. I'm as honest as the day is long.
Hey Mick, your old woman's on the phone.
Tell her I'm not here.
G'day, what's Knocker Knowles here with me, old mate Mickey Finn from New Confidence Motors with a few more motoring tips. Probably talk about experts, aren't we?
Yes, we're talking about those so-called experts.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever, if you're going to buy a car, bring a mechanic with you.
What's that, Mick?
Why? Quite simply, he'll tell you things like, "Oh, it's got a couple of gudgeon knocks, the diff's had it, the gearbox is falling out." He may well only be saying that so that he can snap up this wonderful buy for himself.
That's good thinking, that, Mick.
Look, a lot of people get very nervous about signing hire purchase contracts. That's why we dim the lights, actually.
What else can people do?
Oh, I think the best idea, I've always said this, is to sign the document before you actually test drive the car. It saves a lot of time and a lot of bother.
Very funny stuff.
Yeah. The sad part is a few people used to do that too, Maury.
I don't think Bob would mind me saying, but his beloved brother Terry was a used car salesman.
Oh.
No, Terry was good because I bought a lot of cars from Terry. But Bob would use him as the sort of the sounding board. So, yep.
We're celebrating the life of Hobart radio and TV legend Bob Cooke, who passed away on Saturday after a long illness.
My word. He's out of his pain now. That's one thing with Cookie. And one thing you were saying too, Maury, Cookie wouldn't want us to be sitting around bawling or howling, would he?
No.
He'd want us to be doing exactly what we're doing, which is remembering the fun things.
Exactly. And remembering his talent as well.
Yeah.
Because he was very self-conscious.
Must have been talented.
He was a great mimic. He was a great writer, but he's also a good producer as well. He used to cut the stuff up that we used to do as well.
Right, he did all the editing.
Yeah, I wonder if I related to him.
Pardon?
What?
No, totally not.
Hello, who's this?
It's Daryl here. How are you, mate?
Good, Daryl.
You made a record called Outside, all to do with Moona High School.
Yeah, we did Moona High and we did Cheryl Lean and Doing the Block, and one of my favourites was Big Keith, because you knew he was coming because he had bad teeth.
And I always remember a little skit that you told everyone what you was going to do, Rick. You was going to ride naked through the streets of Hobart.
That's
but they didn't realise naked was the name of a horse.
That's right, and we did that through them all.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you, mate, and to have some happy memories.
The pair, as Vinny and the V8s, even had a #1 hit.
Yeah, outside Coles on a Saturday night. All the boys are looking right.
You know, I've had that going through my head all day yesterday when I was putting all this together. That's such a catchy jingle, isn't it? Outside Coles on Saturday night.
It was when it came out.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry.
Actually, I've got a message here from Mav. Can I make a suggestion that we all head to our nearest Coles supermarket on Saturday night at 8:30 and listen to 7HO FM? Perhaps the station could play the song at that time as we pay respect to Bob Cooke's.
Now, we've just had that.
Great idea.
Yeah, I agree. And we've just had that handed to you by the program director, so he will make sure that song is on at 8:30 on Saturday night. I think what Cookie would look down and laugh his bum off, I reckon. That's a great idea.
We are celebrating the life of Bob Cooke after his passing away on Saturday at the age of 75. And one of the great things about Cookie was he was such a great mimic.
Oh, incredible mimic. He used to do all the political figures. He used to do movie stars and things like that. But it was all topical as well.
Yeah.
In its time.
He had he used to do a movie review. He loved movies, from what I can remember. He had a video collection.
Oh, he had a huge video collection. And he and his friend Eric Byrne used to have a movie afternoon every Friday.
Have a listen, though, to how many politicians he mimics in this.
Well, I'm Johnny Howard with the GST. It has to work or I'm history. The polls seem to say that I'm on the slide, but I don't care. I've got the Queen on my side. Well, I'm Kim Beazley. I'm hot on his heels, working out, getting down, cutting back meals. There'll be no more burgers. There'll be no more fries. I'm a politician, so I tell no lies. I'm Johnny Howard, PM the man. To make you all happy, we must have a plan. Hey, don't knock it, we've got to help each other, especially board directors who might be your brother. Well, I ain't his brother, but I sure am heavy, and I won't have a bar of this 10% levy. Give me the power, man, I'll make the lips quiver. Order me a pizza and ask if they deliver.
Now, one of your famous characters, mate, that I used to absolutely love was Wimmo the Wonder Clown, and he had more tricks than the Houdini.
Poor old Wimmo, because he was a clown that had no idea. His very best friend, Wayne Wolf, and his girlfriend, Snake Woman, and his dog called FOMO, they were all his circus performers, you know, all of these people. But poor Wimmo was so trusting and naive because... Well, will we have a bit of a reminisce?
Have a listen to a bit of Wimmo to get an idea if you've never heard Wimmo the Wonder Clown.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Wimmo the Wonder Clown proudly presents my impersonations of great movies.
Most people, or impersonators, impersonate movie stars, but Wimmo impersonates movies.
Yes, this one's a beauty, this one, Dickie. You'll never guess this one.
Off you go then.
All right, here we go. Oh, no, over here. Whoops, sorry, gave me the wrong direction. Over here, this way. Come on, over here.
What's that?
The Invisible Man.
What are you reading there, Wimmo?
Well, it's a letter from my old grandfather clown, the great Demento. He's getting on a little bit, Dickie, and I'm having trouble reading his writing.
Oh, that's no good.
Yes, is this an I or is it an O?
Let me have a look. That's an I, Wim.
Oh, thank goodness, what a relief, Dickie.
Why's that?
Well, I thought my grandfather just shot himself. Hi, Wimmo the Wonder Clown back again.
Oh, not another film impersonation, Wimmo.
Yes, and this one's a beauty, Dickie. You'll never guess this one. Listen to this. 1, 2, 3, get off my leg. 1, 2, 3, go on, get your tail away. 1, 2, 3, get off my leg.
What is that?
Dances with Wolves.
Where did Wimmo come from?
Yeah.
Well, where did anything come from?
Well, I guess
out of his mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of his creativity.
Were there any characters that you couldn't put to air or didn't work or...
I think a lot of the... Well, yeah, he did John Michael Hollywood Housing Department.
Yes.
You probably couldn't do that today. He was very...
There's a lot of stuff you probably couldn't play
sounded very
today.
out there with John Michael Housen, didn't he?
Yes, he did. It was very Hollywood in that one. Very... Yeah, a lot of things like that probably we wouldn't be PC.
There'd be a lot.
And there was. I mean, I'm just trying to think of some other things that we probably couldn't do. Well, most of it probably, quite frankly.
I mean, it was a successful formula, mate, because it was just went on and on. People just got to love the characters.
And the thing was also, you just didn't get the characters. We also we had a serious side. We discussed the issues of the day because we used to come in the morning. I'd get the paper and whatever, and I'd cut bits out, and then Bob would edit it, and we'd do that, and we'd have a running sheet. Do you have a running? You've got a running sheet. Good on, John.
I do.
Good on, Jono.
Thanks to Jono.
Yeah. Well, exactly. See, Jono's cookie.
Yeah.
He puts it all together and does that. But with the running sheet, so we did other stuff. And you mentioned it earlier. There were days where we had to stop the whole program.
My word.
1996, Port Arthur.
Yep.
September 11.
Yeah.
And even when we weren't on air, or when we weren't as a duo, I remember where the bridge went down. Bob was on the Eastern Shore. He was doing the traffic reports and doing the morning announcing, and he actually went to the bridge when it went down at 9:30 or whatever it was on that Sunday night. So there was that serious news part of him as well. So just a general great all-round, you could put him anywhere. Talkback too.
Yeah.
As well with Margaret Ann Ford.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, so he did that as part of his morning show.
How did you keep a straight face with him? Because, you can hear you being you to hear in that, even in that Wimo montage. I wouldn't be able to, I'd lose it. I wouldn't be able to, it would just be me laughing the whole time.
That's pre-recorded.
Yeah.
It's like you doing theatre, I would imagine. Yeah. You've both got your parts to play.
No, but I still wouldn't be able to keep a straight face with him.
That's the whole thing. Bob used to say to me, because if we were doing some live stuff, live television or whatever, and I was supposed to play a serious character, I'd start laughing at my own jokes. He said, Maury, stop laughing at your own jokes. You're not funny.
And hello, who's this?
Mick the Pom.
G'day, Mick.
Richard there, is he?
G'day, Mick. How are you, Cook?
All right. Hey, remember the day you come down the wharf and you wouldn't go up in the portainer crane?
Yes. Thanks for bringing it up.
Hey,
what happened there?
Sorry about poor old Cookie.
I was afraid of heights, Mick, and I still am. You still work on the wharf?
No, I'm retired now.
Still got your statesman?
Yeah.
Good on you.
Hey, I remember one day I seen Cookie down the Lauderdale tip, and there's an old bloke getting his old records out, and he's smashing with a hammer. And Bob went over and went crook at him. He said, mate, don't throw them old records away. Give them to me. He said, I don't want them. Nobody else is going to bloody get them.
Oh, it's a bit mean-spirited, Mick.
Jeez, I'll say.
It went right off, old Bob. Have a nice day.
Good on you, Mick. Nice to hear from you.
7 Charlotte FM with Sarah, Mick and Jono with Maury, celebrating the life and times of Hobart radio and TV legend Bob Cooke. That's Kesha, This Is Me.
And that is probably a very good summation of my friend Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
No
right,
apologies,
mate.
This is me.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in today.
No, it was great. Look, I'm sorry we didn't get to all your phone calls. Really appreciate your memories and your thoughts about Bob. Just a couple of things I wanted to talk about before we wrap up. And thank you guys for extending this as well.
Thank you, mate.
I really appreciate what you and the management here at HO have done, and they've looked after me as well, and I appreciate that. The Pope came to Tasmania, I think it was about 1996, 97.
I remember that, yep.
And dear Paul Shirley, who was our GM, I don't know whether he's a lapsed Catholic, but he said, look, why don't we just do a live broadcast cover the Pope's arrival. So the Pope arrives at the airport. He was going to come up Liverpool Street into the city, and then I think they had a big sort of mass out at Elwick.
Well, the third was running at Elwick. He wanted to get a bet on.
Anyway, the Pope visit. Okay, so we are doing a live broadcast from upstairs above Alison Hawker in Liverpool Street. You obviously can't get, there's no veranda, so we're looking out the window to see when the Pope mobile's coming up. And then someone rings us off air and says, the Pope's been delayed. And I thought, what's he doing? He's had a refresh stop or blessing the kids or whatever on the way. Anyway, so we're ad-libbing. And we've got to make up the stories. We had a bit of a, little fact sheet about the Pope. Things you can say, things you can't say. Bob ignored that. Good on you, Bobby. And we talk about, how much the Pope mobile weighed and where it was made and all of this sort of stuff. And then finally we say, here comes the Pope. And there he goes, said Bob. Because I thought he'd sort of crawl up Liverpool Street, but he was flat chat. He was in a hurry. He wanted to get the lights on the corner of Murray Street. Anyway, and the one that a few people have mentioned was the one we did, and I think this was 84 or 85. It was just before Easter, and Paul Shirley, the manager, came on the air about 25 past 8 and said, I'd like to apologise for what Cooke Moore said earlier this morning. And as the manager, I now have they will be suspended.
Oh, God.
And that was on Easter Thursday. And on Easter Monday or Easter Tuesday, we were suspended in the mall from a shipping container.
Famous.
Yeah. So
And you were petrified of heights.
but no, it was only about a couple of metres off the yeah. No, it wasn't. No, I wouldn't have done that. No, Says. No, Says. I wouldn't have done that, mate. Yeah. So look, I've got some happy memories, and that is what I've got. And that's what we've all got. We've got the memories of Bob, and they won't diminish at all. But again, thank you for you guys.
No, thank you, Maury. I know he was like a brother to you.
He was like a brother.
So I hope it helps you a bit too.
It does,
reliving
because
some of these
reminiscing
memories.
and talking about it, and and just sort of catching up with some of Bob's mate and family. It's been cathartic, I think.
Good on you.
But
mate.
anyway, thank you guys, and thanks for everybody that called in.
And we'll always have this.
Yes, we will.
Don't forget Saturday night, everyone. Outside goals,
8:30.
Oh yeah.
See you there.
He's on.